Deep in the distant depths of a spooky-ooky quadrant of the galaxy, the bizarre creative collective known as We Are Not Alive celebrates passing 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But even on this occasion of jubilation, questions yet remain. What's going to happen next? And where, oh where, is the last living cartoon?
Huh?
Okay, so technically it's not true. The title of this video is inaccurate. That is only the second best creative advice. The first best creative advice is to do it. Whatever your medium, whatever your interest, do it often, preferably every day. You're gonna struggle, you're gonna fail, you're gonna hate it, but you're gonna love it, and you're also gonna have fun. And I can't do that for you. I can't help you with that. I can't really even give you advice on how to proceed with that. Our mediums, our creative processes, they might be completely different. But one thing I can tell you is my own story and how it relates to the idea that making friends is the greatest creative advice that one can receive outside of the practical function of merely pursuing the craft.
Wanna be a wannabe? Like and subscribe.
In order for this video to make sense, I'm gonna have to take you way back to 2016. It was an experimental period of time. I had just kind of finished up doing my first slate of videos in 2015 that were more of a derivative, snarky reviewer with a plot synopsis type thing. Good day, and welcome to Die Gentleman Reviews, Bangkok Adrenaline. I was basically aping Channel Awesome. And then from there, I got really into Wander Over Yonder.
Wander Over Yonder, the hippie love child of animation gurus Craig McCracken and Lauren Faust. Known for its trippy 1960s-inspired visuals and its unabashed morals on optimism and kindness.
Now this show, of all things, captured my interest at just the right time. The summer of 2016 was going to be the last time that it was airing, and it was a combination of its remarkably well done fluid animation and its theming of optimism, and optimism specifically in the face of a grander universe.
Wander Over Yonder is a very deep show about space, time, what it means to be happy and fulfilled, what it means to live in a universe that seems chaotic and random. Wander Over Yonder is a show about anti-nihilism.
There was this sense of desperation, of ambition that came from the secondary character, Lord Hater. And a lot of this stuff kind of congealed in my mind, and it entered into the universe, the broader space beyond me, in the form of a then kind of viral video.
Wander Over Yonder is brave enough to stick to its core premise. A well-adjusted, mature guy teaching a not-so-well-adjusted guy that you can still be a good person in a cynical, awful universe. And maybe that's not what cartoons are supposed to be about anymore. And maybe we've grown out of such naive ideas. But I, for one, think that we can't abandon optimism, and cartoons can't abandon silliness, a trait that has defined them from their very inception.
The overwhelming idea behind these Wander videos was that, we have to make a difference in our little ways. We have to fight back against the sort of meaninglessness of the universe and discern and divine our own meaning through any kind of expression. It didn't have to be art, but that was the way that I chose to make a difference then and there.
And speaking of people and reaching out to people, I just want to thank everybody for the wonderful reception of my Wander Over Yonder video. I'm still a very, very small YouTube channel, and so far that video has been one of just hands down my most successful video, most views, and it's still being seen, and I feel like its message is so important right now, and I think it will continue to be important.
However, improbably and perhaps remarkably, those Wander Over Yonder videos ended up being watched by someone working in the audio drama podcast world.
Hello, I'm a random British man. I just watch all your Wander Over Yonder videos and I like your style. Would you like a job with AMC Shudder?
So, as a very small YouTuber who was still working a complete full-time job outside of the website, but who had aspirations of creativity, I took the job. And, you know, the job itself came and went. But the more important aspect of this story is that man's name was Henry Galley.
Eyes up, watchdogs. I'm Gus Zagarella.
And I'm Henry Galley.
And welcome to the first episode of Ponder Over Wander,
our bi-weekly podcast on all things Wander Over Yonder.
I'm a YouTube surrealist, whatever that means.
And I'm a horror writer who just really loves cartoons.
And let me tell you something. The moment that I began to collaborate with Henry Galley, and it went beyond this one job. We hosted a podcast together about Wander Over Yonder. We started watching short films. I was introduced to his partner Meg, who you all know, and who have had some very exciting news recently. I met a number of other people through Henry. A lot of them still collaborate with this channel. I feel, without exaggeration, that the only reason we're here right now at 100,000 subscribers is because I admitted to myself that I could not do this alone.
You're going to shoot me, a reviewer, with a reviewer gun? The indignity of it all. The sacrilege. Well, if that's what you want, then just take the shot, turkey head! Turkey head! Sometime I'll catch you trying to be a vehicle to communicate with the human spirit, and I'll shoot you just like turkey!
And it wasn't just YouTube either. It wasn't just a job anymore and in one place. We created Less is Morgue together.
Less is Morgue! My goodness, this podcast about a ghost and a ghoul talking about things, it's horror, it's comedy, it's high concept sci-fi. It is the best podcast of 2020, or my name isn't Dire Gentleman the Third. Yeah, write that down in your lore notes, you, what am I, what?
We started working on screenplays and story ideas and a number of failed projects that didn't go anywhere, but some that did, and some that will. And in the meantime, in all of it, there was this prevailing sense that we were a unit now. And I've shared so many experiences with them, with everyone, really, everyone that it is now, this big, crazy, found family that we have, because that's the insane thing. Becoming creative collaborators, it's turned us into something of a family.
Well, it's so funny because, you know, when I, back then, I remember telling my folks about my YouTube career, and, like, you know, they really like the videos, and they're supportive, and I don't want to, like, phrase this as if they're not, but they were like, you know, okay, this is great, but just doing this isn't gonna get you, like, noticed. Like, you're not gonna, like, get involved in any projects just by making YouTube videos. And, like, out of the blue, you kind of changed all of that by noticing me and having me work on, like podcasts with you. And it's just this weird thing that's kind of like a 1 in a million chance that would happen.
I sometimes think about the version of myself that never made the choice to go along with any of this. Never agreed to the job, never decided to be curious about the other people who I was working with, never had any ambitions for any shared story, never extended that extra olive branch, or however many olive branches of the olive tree that we've gotten to right now.
I know I haven't always been the easiest to be around. I know that there's a lot more of you now, and you probably don't know who old Netflix cowboy is, this weary soul who lived in his desert and now finds himself here on Plague Island with the rest of y'all.
I very easily could have pursued the path of YouTube by myself. This idea of needing to be the greatest, of chasing this want for utter, complete, singular domination in my field. And even if I had made it here, doing it under that mindset would have made me a much more miserable and confused person.
I am Tired Gentleman, the greatest in the internet! You'll pay for this! 'Tis me!
And I'm not saying that all of the big YouTubers out there who have reached these numbers basically on their own or have done it faster than me have, suffered mentally as a result. But listen to what they say about what their climb has done to them. Listen to them say it, them tell their stories. And doesn't it become apparent that there are difficulties to that path?
Well, if I never made that original Wander Over Yonder video and then the follow-up one, I wouldn't have gotten any of the connections I have now. In some ways, I owe YouTube everything, but I hate this place. It's suffocating. Just this constant stream of content that nobody understands and nobody gets because the platform itself is cultivating this blandness within everybody. But I believe in you. I believe in all of you. I believe that you are capable of being individuals with entire universes inside of your brain. And you know what? Nobody wants you to express that except for me. Just me. Pay attention to me. Look at me.
Oh, and just to, clear the air or whatever, I don't ascribe what YouTube does to people in general to any particular individual on this site. I don't think it's right to use that as an indictment of any particular person's character. The truth is, whatever other YouTubers are doing, we either watch them or don't. Their actual inner workings, we're not keeping up with any drama, and we've kind of moved past it since we've become a collective group on this channel. So, hereby, right now, anybody in the past who we've ever had drama with, for whatever that really means, you can all consider the beef officially squashed. Except for you, Connie the Coin. You will forever be my enemy. I will bury you on the non-existent island that you are the horrible tulpa of. You are everything I hate in this universe. What you stand for is mockery and chaos, and you violated all 12 rules for life there, bucko. And if you think you can have it your way, well, we'll see who cancels who.
Hello there.
Taina Tapiwo Shikoyo. Hello there. So I was watching back the footage from the other part. I'm doing this on a different day in case you couldn't freaking tell. And I thought that maybe I could give some perspective on what I've already said, because I don't want this to be too specific to me. I don't want to, imply that this is some kind of roadmap that you can or should follow. You're gonna have to make your own path. It's the same thing I said at the beginning of the video. There is a struggle involved in any kind of creativity. And sometimes a random person is not gonna come out of nowhere and offer you a job. And other times, maybe whatever you're toiling away on, it's not gonna be rewarding. Sometimes you might be the person who reaches out to somebody else and they don't respond, they don't take the job. Doors close, but doors also open, is what I'm trying to say. And I think above all, the most important thing you can do is take stock of the relationships you have right now and the passions for your creativity that you have right now. You, of course, should always be dreaming. You should always be pushing towards something new or imagining what you are possibly capable of. But don't get bogged down in one singular project or platform or idea of yourself as a creator. And don't think that one person out there in the world is going to define that for you. I mean, the fact that Henry and I collaborate together so well is not a direct consequence of, me being offered a job or him even reaching out. For all he knew, I could be a total jerk outside of my videos. And I think I'm not. And likewise, he could have been a total jerk outside of the job offering. And I know he's not. This is gonna sound so corny, but the difference that led to that outcome is the willingness on both of our parts to learn from each other, to empathize with each other, and to genuinely try to understand each other as people. And you don't have to wait for some random person to come into your life to start trying to understand others. I'm sure all of you have a family member or a friend or a coworker or an acquaintance who, if you got to know just a little bit better, could turn into a really good friend to you. And I'm not saying that you should expect a life-changing friendship from everyone you meet or from every member of your family. I know it's difficult. I know relationships are complicated and varied, and to expect that might be expecting too much from just life in general. But if you keep trying, there are other people out there who are trying too. And you're going to meet people who will make your life better. And aside from all the people that I've met through my art and through my work, there came a point where I recognized all of the great people who were already there in my life, already there for me, already so supportive, who I owe so much happiness and joy in my life to. I am blessed beyond belief with all of the wonderful people I know. You may think you have a long way to go, and you do. And so do I. There are so many goals that I have yet to achieve, so many projects, so many stories that I still wish to tell, and I'm going to tell them, because this world is a beautiful place, full of people that I care about. And if I can make that world better, not just for me, not just for them, but for anyone that my creativity and my stories touches, it is worth all of the difficulty of socializing, of reaching out, of letting yourself be open to being cared for. All right, that's enough of the schmaltzy stuff. I know what you watchdogs are really here to see. Bam! I actually can't even believe that I'm holding this. I feel like I haven't properly taken a look at this thing at all, but you're taking it in. You're seeing the fun side of it. I literally just unpackaged this today. I was I was nervous about opening this. Like, it feels so weird, but like, you know, this is a great honor. I've been working towards this for so long, and it's like, and I'm not gonna cry. It takes nothing. I never cry. I've never cried in my entire life. I just laugh nervously because I can't contain my emotions. Maybe one or two of you out there, or like, you know, 100,000 of you are kind of responsible for this, but, you know, it's not like I like you or anything, baka. This one's for you. This one's for all of you. It's your turn next. Hey, don't you give up. Don't you give up, kid. You can do it too. You can do it too. You can ride the humunga dunga.
So thank you to all of you who have subscribed recently. I'm going to continue to make content as often and as quickly as I can, and I'm going to make sure that every single thing I do with this YouTube channel is something I'm passionate about and care about. There's going to be a lot more Wander, because I'm still very much in the same, you know, mind space of everyone else who is anticipating the show ending and wanting to save it. But it's also going to be a lot of other stuff. And it's going to be, you know, across the board, so many weird, out there things, and I'm going to try and do something different with each review, so I'm not following anyone's formula. And all I can hope is that all of you will be there to experience it with me. This journey through what a YouTube channel is. I'm aiming for the top. I'm aiming for the top of the internet leaderboards. Dire gentlemen.
It has occurred to me that this silver play button very nearly could have arrived with a different name inscribed upon its surface. A name other than the one that came to me in my childhood nightmares, and that I was able to share with my friends, and that I was reminded of by those same incredible people who have changed my life in so many beautiful and fulfilling ways. This object could have been a monument to my individualistic ambition, but it wouldn't have been honest in that state. Because instead, what is there on its surface, plain to see, is an indelible mark of the bond that I share with these people, and of all that we have built, and all that we will continue to build, as we move forward towards the strange and fascinating things beyond that dazzling horizon. Thank you, all of you, for however much you contributed, for however much you cared. You are all, every last one of you, the greatest in the galaxy.
Shumanga donga! Shumanga donga! Humunga dunga.